Hello to anyone watching. Good evening. Good morning. It is I, Ryan Wynn, your humble ink king. We are going to be finishing up digital inks over a sketch we did on the Rob Geronimo draw stream earlier tonight. We are listening to the Institute 91 with permission, and there's a link below for their Bandcamp. Excuse me. We will be getting a visual in just a moment, setting up my tablet. All right, we are working in Procreate. Can't talk. The the prompt on the Rob Geronimo draw stream, hashtag Drawnimo, DRAWNIMO, was cyberpunk. And at first I had no idea what I was going to do. And then I remembered Ladytron from Wildcats. And I kind of got this idea for a Debbie Harry kind of Ladytronish cyberpunk character. And I am digitizing it in inks right now. And then going to be coloring it. I did most of the inks already. Be checking the chat in a second. Oh, wait, I see Corey King there. Hey, what's up, buddy? If you're still listening, are the levels cool? I'm a little cottonmouthy here myself. But... All right, like I said, we are working in Procreate, and the character in the chat I just said hello to is Corey King, friend of the channel, friend of the Ink King, longtime participant of our Ink-alongs. Sounds good, thanks, dude. I might be doing an Ink-along with this character now that I'm playing around with her. But Corey's inks have been looking sweet. And I need to send this brush to Corey and to Ty Ranger and to Artsy Design. You guys are going to be my three dudes that'll test out this pen for me. I think it's going to be ready for you guys to test this week. I'm kind of got it to the point where it's almost as sharp as I want. I have the streamline turned way down, so the computer isn't correcting hardly any of that. So you guys can play with that on your own. But I figure I'll throw the brushes out to my few people that I have that I want to sort of do the beta tests on it, and then I don't know, maybe do a video on how to adjust it. All right. Normally I don't go back and forth, jump back and forth like that on ink lines, but I'm trying to adjust what I had in my original sketch. And instead of penciling it, I'm literally trying to fix it in the inks. There we go. Get back to the chat in 1 sec. I love this tune. I'll be adding a few little thin gray lines there, sort of hints at makeup, and also our eyes are sort of deep set. I have this at a 7x10, so I'm trying not to zoom in much past that. I try to act like it's as close to actual size as possible sometimes, but I'm not afraid to zoom in. I know enough not to get lost in the line. I don't noodle too much. Sometimes it's just easier on my eyes. All right. Corey King says he's ready. Been trucking through Procreate and really liking it. Yeah, I love Procreate. See here, change I made was she's got these long lashes, and if I, in the original sketch, it kind of went here, and it creates this tangent mess in this area here. So jump back, and I'm gonna curve it up into here like that. Give it a little more of a whip to it, and also less tangential. This one's going to be tougher though. It's a little bit close on a tangent there, but I think it's small enough. Sup Emos from El Padrino, friend of the channel here, friend of Death Curse as well. Yes, you love to procreate. I know it's such a weird name for the program. I kind of hate it, but I've also kind of just got used to that's what it is. But yeah, I wish they didn't call it that. It was made by the company was originally like a Savage Software. So you're like, dude, that's a cool name. Why not something like with Savage in the title? But they're like, nah, Procreate. Let's make it kind of awkward for people to say they love our project. All right, I think I have a cool idea I'm gonna do with these lashes before I'm done. Okay, I think Corey's wife does makeup stuff. Like, get her in here. Tell me, am I doing these lashes right? Is this how cyberpunk filament lashes would look? All right, not quite sure if I'm going to go solid black on the eyebrows, but I do think I kind of want to do a little manga-ish kind of outline of her eyebrows here. Corey says he tries to stay away from zooming in too much, but I catch myself occasionally. Yeah, I mean, don't sweat it either. As long as you're not getting lost in the zoom, you know, as long as you know the line weight you're going for. I'm going to be zooming in to do these locks of hair, and they're going to look exactly like if I had inked them at actual size. So as long as you don't over noodle when you get in there. No over noodling. Hey, we got Rick Joseph. What's up, Mr. Match? Your piece looked amazing. Rick joined in on the draw stream earlier. And Randy Scribner Jr. also showing up. Yes, I am live. Are you live? Do I live? Do you live? Anyways, thank you for showing up. Rick, thank you for participating earlier. I hope I'm getting the names and avatars right. It's late and I'm tired. I couldn't sleep. Hey, Art C, that's one of the guys I was mentioning earlier in the stream. What's up, buddy? Hey, good morning. Glad you popped in. I was just telling Corey and the gang that I made a few more adjustments to the old pen that I'm testing out. That all of a sudden is there. It is. I don't know why it wasn't working for a sec. And I think this week I'm going to have a beta test pen for you guys to check out for me. And I got a small list of people that I've chosen, and Artsy is one of them. So we'll get that out and see what you guys think. I just got a couple more adjustments I want to make on it first. But anyways, I'm going to get back to this because I want to get this done and started coloring at least before I crash out. So again, we got Institute 91 playing in the background with permission and with a link in the description. Amazing collection of tunes from them, and super affordable on Bandcamp. I think it's like 20 or 30 bucks for their entire discography. Anyways, there's a link, you guys can check it out. Excuse me. All right, and again, I'm going to add a couple extra thin lines here to sort of hint at some makeup on her under eyelid there. And see here, I don't mind zooming in. I'm not over noodling. There's going to be three thin lines there in that space. Plus, I'm drawing off something that I sort of that I inked with a marker in reality, in real time, in real space. Here we go. I'm kind of re-inking it so that I have. Whoa, sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that, everybody. Knocked over a cup here. Scared the crap out of the cat and probably blew out some of your eardrums. Major apologies. Thumbs down loud. Let's see. Randy says, yes, I'm live, but I'm listening to Australian DJ right now and watching you at the same time. Oh, hey, there you go. Yeah. Turn us down, turn them up, and just I'll get back to work and you can watch. So I'm going to zoom in here just because, like I said, it's late and I feel like it. So here we're going to sort of bounce these lines for this metallic ribbed part. When I would use a real nib, I would always like whip out this heavy line a little and then do the thin to thick, kind of like that. You can get a little heavier as you get in there towards the base. And here I sort of want it, I want the, let's see, how do I describe this? I want this line to sort of continue through here. So there's got to be follow through. So it's going to be heavy on that end, thin, thin to thick. So thick, thin, thin to thick. Following the same sort of plane here, but kind of starts to curve down as we get to the bottom. So there you go. There's that. I know I see the cameras zooming in and out a little too much. There, pulled it back a little. Maybe that'll help. Whoops, I accidentally hit the arrow. There we go. I'm going to go up and ink her little outlet earring. Here we go. It's a little outlet. Who knows? Maybe that's how she charges. And again, here I'm just throwing thick to thin to thick, just a little bouncy line. Kind of lines you should be just practicing throwing when you're practicing with your pens and brushes. And the same thing here, but we're just curving it more. And I sort of changed my speed too. I'll go a little slower at the beginning and then a little faster through the line. That sort of I find my groove and then whip it a little. Whip it. Oh, that's right. I did. I sent the pencils to Art C earlier. And he says, "Oh wait, I'm not supposed to be watching. Good thing I start work at 7." Hey, don't sweat it, buddy. This will be up later if you wanna ink yours while you watch this. I'm not saying you have to watch this. That's not to sound presumptuous about that, but yeah, I look forward to seeing what you do, buddy. And like I always say in my ink-alongs and stuff, you do not have to follow my lines. Just absolutely do your thing over it. That's right, El Padrino. Whip it real good. All right, we've done all her ribbing. I don't really like the way my camera's shaking though. I think I can fix it. If you guys don't mind me going off screen for a second. One sec. I'm gonna move the clamp. Yes, this is gonna work much better. Sorry for the inconvenience, but it will be for a better viewing experience. Alright, C says he did notice some details he might have missed. Yeah, I tried to get the pic to you really quick, and the lighting wasn't the best, but we can figure that out. All right, I think this is going to be much better. 1 second. Here we go. We are back in business. And I move this table. The other table does not move. Okay, hold on. Now it's from now on steady. This camera will be steady. All right. So where was I? Here we go. See this? I'm going to zoom out and I'm going to use one of the Procreate techniques. I'm going to go thin. I'm going to go much heavier on the base and then go back thin again and then hold and let it snap those lines clean for me as if I'd used a template. And now I'm going to fix the lines I did have there. I didn't like what I did originally. Kind of threw them wrong. I was kind of doing them with the ink, so it didn't come out right. So now that's much better. And let's move over to her cigarette. So I'm going to do some ziggy zags here. Sort of represents the burning paper. And here's some embers coming up. And a couple ashes falling down. And let's do some bouncy image style lines here. So lines are either arching out or arching in. Be careful of Feld taught Danny Mickey don't do smoke like roller coasters. Smoke and clouds don't do roller coasters. They bounce out, it curves in. It may do a little bit like that, but it's not roller coasters. So let's keep it bouncy. And notice I'm not tracing my pencil lines perfectly. I'm just using them as reference, sort of guidance. That way I feel freer in the line I'm making, because you don't have to trace something exactly, but you're getting that same energy. And that's kind of how I like when I did work over other pencilers. I liked their energy to be tight. The actual lines didn't have to be tight, but the energy of them had to be tight. And this is a little thin for me. I think I'm going to double it up here. Like this, and the same here. Instead of thickening it, I just you double line it, and it kind of stylistically adds a little bit of a darker tone to that area. Now, let's see. Do I want to go solid black on the entire image and then just call it done? No. Let's see. Lips solid black. No. I sort of shaded them in like this. Just going to go back and forth. And then sort of follow the shape of the lips. Then after I do that, I'm going to come in on the underside and clean it up, solidify that. Where it meets up against her metal jaw. Looks like I got to go in and erase a little here. White out. A little digital whiten out. There we go. Yeah, I like that better. Zooming in, it looks a little weird, but when you pull back, it looks good. And let's do her eyebrows. Gonna go do something kind of similar. We're just kind of bearing down with the pen in the direction of the hair. She's gonna have some healthy eyebrows here. And the dark eyebrows will contrast against her bleach blonde, Debbie Harry hair. I'm gonna go heavier here too. Maybe a fourth line. Oh, my Apple Pencil is low. That's not good, guys. I'm gonna have to go when the Apple Pencil dies. Or you know what? I'm gonna plug it in to charge on the side here for a minute and look at the chat, see if you guys got any questions. And we can watch a time lapse of something here. Watch a time lapse of this while the Apple Pencil is charging. Let's see. Here, I'm going to slow it down. Go back a little. All right, here we go. So I was just testing it out, see what pen I was using. I think I tried out what I call my awesome brush first, and it just seemed too heavy. This is 7x10, so I just went with my normal pen. This is sort of the same size as a Hunt 102 would be. And I just attack the hair first. Like that. Then went for the neck forms, and then just slowly worked my way down and around. And I'm working on her jacket and her zipper. I think in this new image, it's going to be more apparent what that was. I think you could still tell it was some sort of jacket down around her coat, but I don't know. I just sort of like the idea of her like pulling down the shirt to show off her cyberpunk shirt, or pulling down her jacket to show off her cyberpunk shirt. So then I jump back up to the hair and the face here. Let's see. So yeah, attack the hair out here, and then hit the jaw. Art C says, "I like the way that pen lays down inks. Can't wait." Yeah, I'm glad you guys have been pushing me to do it too, because otherwise I would have just been working slower at it, and now I'm excited to try to get something unique out there. And here we go. You guys saw all this. I love the time lapse on Procreate. El Padrino says, "Oh, so that's why my smoke looks bad. I do roller coasters." Yeah, I mean, it obviously depends on your style and stuff like that too. You know, it's not like there's a wrong way, but if you want that bouncy flow, it's all about those arch one way, arch another way, and change the shape and look at the way smoke folds like ribbons. So yeah, smoke and hair are very similar, but smoke is not. It doesn't weigh the way. It doesn't have gravity affecting it. So while it's the same effect and it folds in the same way, smoke is almost like hair and water, where hair we're obviously always dealing with gravity pulling it down. You know, look at everywhere you can see gravity pulling everything down, pulling her jacket down. We got Justin Holton in the house. He says, "Hey, man." Hey, Justin. Justin's an artist to watch for sure. Let's see. Excuse me. Hey, you're welcome, Justin. Thanks for the shout out. Artsy Design says, "All right, gotta catch you later, Ryan, El Padrino, and chat." Yeah, hail Artsy. Take care. Have a good day at work. We will catch you later, buddy. Oh, hey, I didn't see my homie James, Shogun Ronin artist, in the house. What's up, buddy? Did I miss anybody else? Padrino says, "She has attitude." Yes, she definitely does. And El Padrino says, "I need to start watching more of these. I suck at inking." You don't really. Maybe there's certain things you want to do, but your art, the man, for I would not say you suck at inking. You do a great job, man. And oh, there we go. I like that one. El Padrino says, "She looks cyber hot." That's right. She is cyber ready to cyber rock and roll. Yeah, gravity is a perv. Gravity's a jerk too. All right, so I am going to let's check my. Don't worry, there's no docs in here. Okay, I think that's enough. I usually like to power up to 100% if I'm charging my pencil. I don't like it to get low, but you know, we got work to do here, right? Okay, so camera's wiggling just because I am touching the camera so I can scroll through the comments, but back to work. Let's see, where are we? We are faking a zipper. I'll show you guys how to fake a zipper. All right, so we're gonna do this part. We're gonna do a thin broken line here, and then we'll do one more connected line. We're gonna do the same thing over here. Find my groove. Now, it doesn't have to be super clean, even though it's gonna be the metal zipper. It's sewn onto cloth, so it waves back and forth a little bit. You can do slight roller coasters with your zippers and cloth, not with smoke. Okay, let's see. We have more up here. Yes. Wraps around the jacket. We've got some overlap here, showing dimension, trying to make sure that our two-dimensional image on flat, essentially paper, looks three-dimensional. We're always trying to fool that. That's something you're really good at in your work, El Padrino. There's some stuff. Obviously, I'm not giving you a critique right now, but there's some stuff in your pencils that, like I said, we in your interior work that we can go over. But especially the fan art stuff and some of the Hammerella stuff you've done, your sense of overlap and making the gesture twist and hold an object and things like that. That stuff is fantastic. And that all adds dimension to the piece. So when I look at your two Hammerella pieces, they just don't look like drawings. They look like there's physical space going on there. Sorry, I try not to move my hand too much because it gets the camera going. My left hand, I'll just keep it out of frame. All right, so this is her bomber jacket. We can go kind of heavy on it, and it's poofy. It's quilted, as bomber jackets are. So it folds in on itself, but remains sort of poofy at all times. And I really faked the crisscross stitch job on it during the draw stream, because I try to get the complete drawing done in 2 hours on that show, from concept to execution, 2 hours. And by execution, I mean defeating my opponents by not only doing the coolest piece, but doing it in a certain amount of time, like getting it done on the stream too. None of this going and finishing it later or not being done by the end of the stream. People tune in to watch you complete it. So that's just me talking trash on my friends. But. All right, so then I just zigzag. Zippers don't zigzag, but when you zoom out, this is a small detail. So that's a cheat that I do sometimes. Yeah, just do the zigzag, and it totally reads as a zipper. And you still have a lot of teeth to make. And if anyone looks close, it just looks like a sharper zipper. You're like, oh crap, don't get your caught in that. I don't know what it is, but that's whatever you think it is. And see here I don't mind zooming in. It's just a little easier on my eyes. I'm not adding more detail than I would if I was zoomed out. And that's one of the things I was worried about when I started working digital. But I spent 18 years before that doing traditional work, so I kind of just knew what the lines should look like. When I zoom in, I'm like, well, it's going to be these kind of thin lines. But I think even if you don't have that experience, you can figure it out. Okay, there's our zipper. We got a few more jacket puffs I want to do here. Some folds over. Some folds overs. I don't know what that's not English. Some folds overs. Some folds over here is what I meant to say. So then this is the jacket folding up on itself there, or down on itself before it wraps around her. Okay, this is where I think I don't want to overthink. I think I'm going to kind of go with what I had for the stitching on the jacket, or the quilting. So bomber jackets have this sort of crisscrossing stitched on quilted pattern. And what that is meant to do is contain the stuffing or the batting, so that you can use like thin, loose clumps, but they won't all fall to the bottom of the jacket. So you just sew it in, and then it keeps everything together. So here, I forgot we got one more little zip part. So you want to, as an artist, you want to know that stuff about clothing, about shoes, about what, stitching and how things work. It's and it's one of the things you want to do. Start when you're young. Start when you're drawing a picture and you have to draw a gun. Go in and look at what are the parts of a gun. When you're drawing a car, you don't have to learn it all right away, but Man, it's gonna help so much when you go to do things. If if you're drawing a bomber jacket and you know why the bomber jacket looks like that. Oh, I see where I was messing this up. Okay, so I have to start crisscrossing at one point. Damn it! I do have to think this out a little bit. Jumping back, jumping back, jumping back. Okay, so I think this one works. And I think right about here we need to start crossing over. And then down here, erase that. And about here. Okay, because it crisscrosses over itself. That's what I had going wrong in my original. So then it's going to crisscross around here. And then, let's see, it moves up to here at this point. Ooh. God, this is going to go much quicker. All right, there we go. And then, there we go. Okay, now okay, bam, bam, and then we'll go up to about here. And I will catch up on the chat in 1 second. This is taking up a lot of brain power right now. Normally I'm fine working, reading the chat, and doing all this, but right now I gotta figure out where all this stuff would go. So I'm gonna cross over here too. So that's gonna come from here, go like that. All right, we're making this work. Even where I'm faking it, it's gonna work. All right, there, and then it's gonna hop up around here like this. Sorry, I do this too, even when I'm not live streaming. My wife's like, "Who are you talking to? Are you live streaming?" I'm like, "No, I'm just figuring this stuff out loud." All right, and then there's gonna be, this guy's gonna whip out around here, come down like this, and then one more there. Let's get rid of the pencils underneath. Take a look at our quilted work. Yes, this is working. Quilted bomber jacket. And then we're gonna go in and do the blacks and do her logo. Is what I was gonna say, you guys. Logo. Come on. Jeez. Let's see, Randy Scribner, big time detail on that. Yeah, it's one of those funny things. Again, I was like, oh, this will just go quick, and then you're like, oh wait, it folds down and around and up and over, and then it has to cross over with the crisscrossing stitch. Ugh. So yeah, it's little things like this. As an artist, sometimes you're like, oh, I didn't know I was digging a hole for myself. So this one we're gonna go up and over and around, and then it's gonna crisscross there. And here, this one's going to do that, and then that. And then here we're gonna have it going a different direction because the jacket down here has crisscrossed, or not crisscrossed, but this would turn up, so the diamond shapes are running different direction on this part of the jacket. And all we gotta do is a couple lines like that. I think that's all we need there. Sweet. Okay, I think that's it for the quilting of the jacket. Jeez, that fried my brain, you guys. It wasn't even that hard, but just, ugh, jeez. Whew. Thanks for helping me get through that, guys. El Padrino says, when I was younger, I wanted to make a zombie game. I was drawing guns all the time. My dad was worried. Yeah, it's funny. Our parents think that sometimes the things we draw are necessarily the things that we're going to do. Uh, Hardly ever the case. Hey, Nathan Judd. Hey, buddy, I missed your question. Hope you're still in the house. What I am doing is in Procreate under the inking setting. They had a calligraphy pen. I've gone in and sort of manipulated the calligraphy pen to sort of my liking. And let's see, still using that classic shape. I do have a couple different variations I'm playing with, and I will be trying to get a brush out to people. But even the regular setting, some people say they don't have the calligraphy pen in the inking section, under the ink tab. But if you do on yours, even the standalone or the out of the box, it's very much like the Leader Maru pen or a Hunt 102, like a stiffer Hunt 102. And you can see here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 variations going on right now for that one. But yeah, it's not in the calligraphy section. In the calligraphy section, I do have this pen I've shown a couple times. It's for right now, it's just my flick nib, and that's because I have some friends that I want them to try inking digitally, and they do a lot of flicking for their bleeds like this with the Hunt 102, and to get it to look like that with the real pen, you have to whip it that quickly, whether you're using your wrist or your elbow combined. And I wanted to work on getting the pen that could do that with the same action that they're used to using, so that basically the jump over to digital wouldn't be that difficult for them, because the tool would react almost exactly the same. Where I don't mind using different tools and figuring out the different effects, but a lot of people, they're just like, no, I learned a certain way. But this one I can't. It's not quite. It's not quite perfect for line work yet. It's got a weird reaction time for some stuff, so I'm still working on that, and I want to combine those somehow so that there's a pen and a brush. That's kind of what I want to do. So, if you're still around, I hope that answered your question. Hey, cheers. He is still around. What's up, buddy? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for asking questions. Let's get those pencils pulled up again. I'm going to play with my now. I just saw a flash of something. I don't know if I'm still going. Looks like we're still going. Okay. So I'm going to play with this flick nib for a minute. I haven't actually played with this in a while. We've got a little bit of a highlight we'll have on that shoulder. And let's see. Yeah, I don't usually ink like that, but like I said, I was trying to develop this for other inkers I know. But I thought that type of line might look cool on her shirt. I want it to almost look kind of glossy. And then we can fill in the blacks. Well, the line's not aliased on that pen either, so I got to work on that. All right, yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. There we go. Hey, we got 7 people watching. Right on. Hello, everyone out there in Inkville. If you are new to the channel, my name is Ryan Wynn. Been in the comic book industry, mostly as an inker for the past almost 20 years. And now I am using the wrong pen that I don't want to be using. It's like, why did it come out like that? And now I am the writer and co-creator of Gods and Gears, and the writer and artist on Hammerella. Link in the description. And let's see, I see Simon and 7 chiming in. Let me get to the pen I want to work on, my inking pen. And back down here to my experimental calligraphy pen. Simonin7 says, what's this? I came on and Ryan was pinching what I think is supposed to be a nipple. Oh, hi. The early morning depravity. Good morning, Ryan. Good morning, Simonin. I know, I guess it did look like that, but you know me. I would have asked first. All right, there we go. Doing the inside shadow on this black part of the collar on her shirt, wrap it around her neck there. Sort of a baseball tee design she's got going on. And here we'll just go ahead and drop in the black. We'll do the same up here. Round out those shadow shapes and drop in the black. There we go. So I will get to coloring this here pretty soon. Let's see what time it is. It's 4:15 here. I might go for a little while. At least another 15 minutes. I don't know how far I will get in coloring, but we'll get the inks done for sure. Well, let's go back to that flick pen. Let's have fun with that. Yeah, because there's so many brush settings that if you try to just whip it like this, like you do with a real pen, it does not come out the same. And now let's do here, let's throw a couple. Let's do a third, there we go. And we'll throw another tiny little bleed. Oh, happy little bleed. Happy little bleeds. And there we go. I still, part of me wants to draw more attention up here with black. But not yet. Not yet. Let's get back to, where's my inking pen? Inking, calligraphy pen. I gotta do these t-shirt folds here. It goes into the armpit. We could do a little bit here like this. A little dimension. Now, what pen? Let's see. Like a flat marker. Scrolling. No, there's a flat marker here. Where are you? There's marker. That might work. Chisel tip. Maybe that'll be nice. Whoa, that's huge, bro. It's like way huge. A little bit smaller. Where are we at? Size 6. Let's take 5. Let's go to 4. Hey, we got Lucifer Storm. Lucifer Storm has Lady Satan over on Indiegogo right now. I think I replied. I'm so tired right now. I think I replied to you, buddy. I think I'm on your show Monday. Yeah, I'll be announcing that in another video. And we'll be getting him on here or on Death Curse and or both to help promote his project. You can lay the pitch in the chat if you want, buddy. Tell people what the book's all about. Looks super cool. I love her design. I was looking at the page tonight. Nice work on the page too, because that's something people come on the show. I want to be able to offer them tips because a lot of people don't really understand like how to set up the page properly, and it's not that you didn't follow the instructions, but there's sort of a craft to making the Indiegogo page appealing for the casual scroller. Okay, Lucifer Storm is confirming. Yeah, Lucifer Storm, you're just getting here, but me having to figure out the stitch pattern in inks on this jacket, the quilting pattern, fried my brain. I'm super tired and can't sleep, and then I fried my brain with that. So we are close to done with the inks, but I still, we're not getting enough attention up in here. What pen am I on here? Chisel tip. Now I want to get back to my calligraphy pen, which I really need to move to the top, but since it's a pen I'm experimenting with, I don't know, I just keep it down at the bottom. But all right, yeah, we're gonna go 4 times as heavy on these lines. I'm gonna beef these bad boys up. Maybe take it into the little bloopity, the eye bloopity there. Yeah, that's way cooler. Heck yeah. All right, so yeah, basically if these were quarter notes, or no, if these were 16ths, they're now quarter notes. I don't know. It almost it works out when I'm not so tired, because everything works on this like grid patterns, very similar to music. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. And again, I'm so tired. You guys are getting wacky me right now. All right, that's the rolling papers. And see, I'm super zoomed in right now, but if you're kind of, like I said, comfortable with the line weights and how they should be at certain sizes. All right, she's looking pretty good. Pretty happy with this. Braggity brag, brag, brag. Oh, hey, Randy, thanks for the nice words. He says, nice work, sweet. Is she related to ballistic and velocity? It could be both. Could be both. All right, Lucifer Storm. Lady Satan. This is his book, Lady Satan, currently on Indiegogo. Little description for us. Lady Satan is a haunting revenge tale that takes elements of the thriller and horror genre and blends them with a character-driven story that takes you through a personal journey of darkness and vengeance. Hey, that's a pretty good pitch. Yeah, and your art looks great. The black and white stuff you have, man, part of me, I hope it's staying black and white, but every time I say that to someone, they're like, oh no, I just haven't colored it yet. But it looks so good in black and white. El Padrino says that sounds cool. El Padrino's, he's tough to please. He is one tough cookie. He's from Texas, Bolivia. Just sort of an inside joke, but trust me, it's hilarious. Hey, thanks for the kind words, Lucifer Storm, buddy. He says, you may be tired, but that piece is looking phenomenal. Yeah, luckily I did all the brain work earlier. Drew her out earlier on the Rob Geronimo draw stream. And let's see. I think I want to add a little bit of darkness in there. I'm going to gray that out. I'm going to go full solid black. And I'm debating this shadow here. And I already think I'm going to do it because it helps me bring up the black, helps draw up the eye to her eyes. And then let's do, oops, go into my digital whiteout. Hit a few of these high points here, and here, and here. Let's see, there and there. There we go. And that breaks up the shapes a little bit. So it's not just a big solid black mass there. And helps, again, ease the transition up to here. I think we need to go in and do a little bit of a rendering here, some bleeds out here. And follow the form of the, as it folds around. And fill that in a little more. Yes, and then here we're gonna pull some of these bleeds in here. And let's see, I think we need to fill this in more and have less white. I sound like it's someone on Twitter. Anyways, that's a dumb joke. Let's do one more little bit of rendering there. And I think that's good. Yeah, I think that's good. Oh, you know what? We lost our music. Hey, hold on a sec. Let's get our tunes back. I'm gonna be on here for a bit more. I need my Institute 91 playing. We got to the end of that album. Let's get another one going. Let's get High Wraith. Here we go. All right, so I'm going to look at this for a second. We're going to, my eye was immediately drawn to this little bloop on the end of this line here. Sometimes I like those. There, it was drawing my eye. This little, if there's like a little single black dot out of place, it draws your eye right to it. All right, look at her face for a minute. Lucifer Storm and El Padrino meeting each other and following each other on Twitter. I think you guys will get along great. And yeah, Padrino, I think you're going to enjoy the look of Lady Satan. Again, so tired, man. And get used to that. I always call people's projects the wrong name. And Lucifer Storm, yeah, I'm sure you can see some of El Padrino's work there. He's awesome, and he's been really fun to hang out with. We have a good time. I do realize I missed some bits of hair. Gonna go in here and sort of give a little bit of dimension to my anime hair, my fake anime hair here. So the general way I sort of fake hair is everything is this sort of shape, like almost like a muscle, and then you can do a heavy line like this or medium line like that, and do a thin line like that. And look, you got a lock of hair. Look how easy that was. And then just like repeat it, but change the shape a little. Maybe go longer here. And this one, you can go heavy like that, and then go thin like that, and then maybe add a medium one up here underneath that lock. And you can just kind of change around like just the way you shape that. If you want to give it a little more dimension, you can add a thin line, a couple thin lines on top, but leave it more open in the middle. So it's sort of so from a different angle, if we're looking at it from this angle, you're almost going to get like this effect coming at you. So the hairs would be like that. It opens up more as the chunk of hair opens up, just like muscle groups. If you study hair and muscles, it's very similar. And then there's similarities between hair and smoke, like I was saying, and dissimilar. But that's some simple kind of stylistic choices that you can make and play around with. Some little formulas for you guys. I'm gonna add just a couple more here myself that I didn't do in pencil. Okay. I'm still wondering if I should gray in the eyebrow a little more. Let's test it out. I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna leave it like that. Get rid of my pencils. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it like that. And eventually, I'm gonna redo these grid sort of lines in the background, and they're gonna be neon lights, like neon tubes. But right now, I think we're gonna do some flat colors for her. So I go in with the freehand tool, and you can just very easily tap along the outside of whatever shape you're gonna choose the color flats for. You can also do it in strokes like this, and I tend to do a little of both. And here I definitely don't mind zooming in. It's much easier on the eyes. And let's see, go around these open spaces like that. There is a sort of craft to flatting, whether in Procreate or Photoshop. I don't really have the dialogue for it right now, but it's definitely got its own learning curve if you haven't done it. Lots of times people have done it for a long time and they've missed a lot of tips and tricks. So while I don't necessarily have like Procreate tutorials going on, I usually try to just discuss what I know when I'm doing demos like this, and hopefully some of those tips or tricks that I've learned will work their way out to you guys. And I will be checking that chat again in a minute. And again, this is Institute 91 playing the tunes in the background. We got permission from them, and we have a link in the description for their Bandcamp page, so check that out. They did a song for Rob Geronimo's Wirehead. That's a stretch goal song, and they did a short album, a snort album for. Ooh, we got a tangent here. We're gonna fix that in a second. Did a short album for City of Rot, and they did a tune that Spencer's using for the book. I guess our book, I can say, because I'm working on it too. Return to Camp Rainbow. We've kind of had in the works for years now. Okay, so let's see. I want to fix that tangent. By tangent, I mean see where the jaw or metal jawline comes up here, meets there, and then her hairline meets in the exact same spot. And I kind of missed that when I was inking. So that's I'm gonna fix that by deciding where I want it to go. I think it should go just down here like that. And what we can do is sort of take the color I was going to do for her hair and fill that in. It's just a base color. It's not really going to be this yellow. And then we'll go back to the inks. Take our select freehand. Let's take this line. It's right up there. And I am going to no, not that way. Flip it this. No, I don't want to do this. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to flip it vertically and then horizontally. I'm actually going to try something else here. Let's see. I think I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to erase this here. I'll hop down on a color. Do that. There we go. I feel much better about that, and I like that shape better. All right, so let me find a palette I want to use. I think we're gonna use some of these classic colors. For her skin, for the base of her skin, I think I'm gonna go with this sort of violet. Oh no, I just messed up the calligraphy pen setting. Damn it. All right. All right, so we're going to go back in and we're going to freehand out our selections around her metal jaw here and around her face. Don't want to get her teeth, her cigarette there. So yeah, I think I'll at least do the flat colors. So here, now that I've already dropped in a color where her hair is, we're on the same layer. So I can go into that, into the yellow, and bring it all the way around to where I started. And when I drop a color in, it won't extend into the yellow. Like so. Oop. See? Man, I'm glad I was on the right layer. That could have gone horribly wrong. So this actually isn't quite as peachy as I want it. I think we might go up to here. Let's see. Yeah, I think for now that's better. And I think the other color actually works for metal. I was going to use this color, but let's see. So then again, oh, you know, we missed a spot. Go in here, get that, drop that in. Okay, now let's go back over here. So now that we have dropped in the pink and the yellow, we can just go into those colors, but then when there's no color here, again, we gotta stay on the line. And a lot of people find this part of the job tedious. Professional colorists, even indie guys too, they'll hire somebody else to do the flats for them. If you've got a good guy that does it super quick and he does it for a good price where it's worth it for both of you, it can be quite advantageous. For now, I just tend to do it on my own. I do it pretty fast and save myself a few bucks. So we do have more skin showing here, a little bit here. Draftsmanship wise, I probably should have shown a little more of that arm, so it's not just this like tiny little pink triangle there, but we're just going to deal with that for now. It's part of getting it done in the time frame I've allotted myself. And thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys that if you backed Hammerella, we are still getting backers. I'm super stoked that everyone believes in that project because I really do. And it's coming along really well. I'm going to have another art update next week. Tons of great stuff. And let's see. I don't know this shirt. I'm thinking maybe this color for the dark parts. So again, freehand selection. Don't be afraid to zoom in. Zoom in if you're shrooming. And thank you all for those of you that also, back to City of Rot and Wirehead. Those guys are like family to me, and I have, I'm working with both of them on other projects and stuff like that, and doing prints for Wirehead, so I'm involved in those projects and with those guys. And can't thank you guys enough for all the support and always joining these streams too. Yeah, I think I like that. All right, got Padrino singing Hammerella. Yeah, I always love people singing that tune. I do have other song ideas. I actually have an album idea that's sort of an instrumental that would go along with the Hammerella comic, but I just haven't had time to focus on it much, and I kind of want to bring my bandmates from the Taint in on it. Okay, so let's outline her shirts here. Now, classic baseball tee design. The center part of the shirt is brighter than the darker part, or sometimes vice versa, but usually it's darker sleeves and a lighter front, so that the logo is easy to read on it. But her jacket now, actually, I think I want to go more neutral, a little grayer with the jacket. The jacket, easy peasy. We're just going to outline out here. Bring it around here. Trace out the outline again. And you can tap or draw with the tool. Pull back out and go ahead and meet the line. And there we go. And Randy Scribner Jr., friend of the channel, friend of the show, friend of the Ink King, says, that's great news on Hammerella. Yeah, thanks to wonderful friends like you, everybody made it happen. People keep congratulating me, and I guess like, oh yes, thank you, because it happened. But I'm like, nah, man, gotta high five all the homies that made it happen. So I'm gonna high five your eyes and your brains with the raddest book. Because I was already pretty stoked on the story, but as I'm putting it together, to me that's sort of like when the magic really happens, because the story starts telling you, giving you ideas, where before you were kind of forcing it into existence, but once it exists a little, it's kind of like, no, this should happen, and just some really cool things that I can't wait for the reader to experience. So I figured out some story sleight of hand that I'm excited to do. All right, I think we're gonna do. Okay, if this is her jacket color. This is shirt color. Neutral. Oh no, this is a color I haven't quite used yet. So I want to try something really quick. Yep, I think this is what I want to do. So I've changed my mind on how I want to play with the coloring here. So we're just basically going to paint in. And normally I don't paint in like this, but I don't know, right now I feel like adding color is more fun to watch than watching me tap invisible lines. So I'm going to do blue on the face of her metal parts, and it'll be this violet color on sort of the ribbed parts. And yes, you can make all the jokes you want about that. Yeah, I was going to keep all the metal sort of the same color, but I think this works. You know what? I'll do this. Man, how about these Institute tunes? Can't thank Spencer Desmond enough for introducing me to Institute. It's the Institute 91, but a lot of people just say Institute 91, and we all just call him Institute, which he does have a name, but we are not allowed to know it. It shall not be revealed to us. Wait a second. Oh, damn it, I did use the same color as that. Okay. Gonna fix that. I'm gonna finish it out, though, and we'll figure it out. Boy, this is yeah, this is going a lot faster than I expected. And I think I'm gonna have a light in the center of this piece, but not sure what color yet. Okay, so I did accidentally use the same color on her sleeve and that. So what shall I do? I'm going to select that color. I'm going to do a grayer version of that. And let's see. Maybe this will work for me. Maybe this will work, folks. Let's see. Oh, I forgot to close it off on this side. So basically what I'm doing is closing off the blue section I've colored here with my purple and then filling in the purple there. And again, this isn't the most super professional way to do it. This is just me trying to get my ideas out. Ah, shoot, I messed up. It went full bleed on here. Boy, that's dumb. I don't think I like that though. Maybe I should use this color on the sleeves. Maybe I should just go, you know, I'm just gonna go darker on this, yeah, I'm just gonna go darker on the shirt part. There we go. I'm already happy with that. Whew. That's close. That's close, guys. So I was gonna have to cancel the entire rest of the year. Yeah, okay. I'm happy with that. And then maybe blue in here for now, and then I think I'm gonna have her eyes lit up, and I think I'm gonna have well, never mind. I don't want to say what I'm gonna try to do with the eyelashes yet. And then let's do a deeper warm color on her lips here, even though there's just barely a hint of color. You still want to have something different. And then the teeth, I usually tend to go with a really, really light blue that's almost white. Oh, hey, Ashen Jackal, welcome, brother. Let's see. Lucifer Storm says, "Can't wait for Hammer Wirehead looks look amazing." Thank you, brother. Right back at you. And El Padrino says, "I tried to support the books by spreading the word and doing some fan art. I don't really know how to use money through the internet." Cries, "Oh, dude, don't you worry about anything. Yeah, don't. I got your back, brother. And eventually, if you do have money or something, you do want to, we can show you how. But right now, don't worry about it. You do so much to support us. Just even hanging out and being cool. Just a positive vibe out there. Let alone doing the awesome work. And we're going to be showcasing the heck out of your Hammerella art. I haven't announced quite yet what we're doing, but yeah, it's gonna be cool. A lot of people are gonna see it, so be ready. All right, this is a darker color than it's going to be, but I want to be able to see it, and I want it to be a darker value than her skin tone right now. And we are going to go ahead and do a little burning cherry at the end there. Hit these embers. All right, and then the smoke. Let's see. I think we'll go here with the smoke. And yeah, Padrino, you man, you don't have to feel bad. That's man, I try to make sure people understand that you, first of all, you don't have to help support anything. Like, so there's no guilt. There's no guilt trip on anything. Yeah, sure, we say like, hey, support this. Hey, support that. Hey, go back this. But you know, we're speaking in general. We don't want you guys to think that you have to. If you're listening to us regularly, you have to be buying something that we are promoting to you. You know. So yeah, I just want to make sure you understand that, and then especially dudes like you that are doing fan art and stuff. I don't know if you really understand how much it means for somebody to get fan art. I know some of us aren't that great sometimes at expressing how much it means to us to get it. But man, I guarantee you, I don't know anyone that that doesn't get as excited about fan art as they do as seeing their own work in print. That means a lot, and that motivates creators to want to continue to make something so awesome that people want to draw it. Simonin said he was wondering about shipping to Bolivia. It must be really costly. Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. Yeah, El Padrino says it took 6 months for something to get to a friend of his through Amazon. We got friends saying hello to each other, and then Simonin says shipping has its own weird rules for costs. I have seen people charge way less for shipping to Australia than Mexico, but I understand more reliable shipping for Australia gets less expensive. Yeah, but it is weird sometimes where you're like, how can I go that far for that much cheaper? But I mean, obviously, it is about how often those routes are used and things like that. Here, let's get our full girl here. El Padrino says, whatever it is, thank you. No, thank you, El Padrino. And I mean that, buddy. Simonin says, here shipment is very tricky and unreliable, so you need to pay the extra expenses to secure and ensure the packages. Simonin says, the Ashen, nice video on Mariko. Must be a funny one about I'm not Starfire. Alright, so now I'm going to pick a background color, and I am going to get going in a few minutes. My sleepy time nights are creeping up on me. Let's see, she's generally cool with a little warmth. I'm going to drop a deep warm color behind her for right now. Let's see how I like that. I think I like that. Now, if we want to do some simple fun things, if you do simple work or you're new to coloring and you want to just add a little bit of something to it, you can do a technique like this. Create a layer above your flats layer. In fact, let's name this flats right now. Flats. And let's call this rename. We can do, let's see, what do I want to call this? Highlights, shadows. Whoops. Shadows. And okay, so we're gonna go here, and I should be doing masks, but I'm not doing masks right now. This is a simple little trick if you want to do it. Automate. Let's pick a deep warm color with some gray in it, somewhere like that. And then let's go up to our highlights and shadows. And right now we're just going to be doing shadows with an airbrush. So pick a soft airbrush, pull down the opacity just a little bit, or doesn't really matter, somewhere in here. This is what, about 80%, and go kind of big because there's no gradient tool in Photoshop, or in Procreate like there is in Photoshop. And then you can just add like a little bit like that, and you can already, I don't know, you can see it on there. Wow, it shows up a lot more on the camera. It's not that strong in person, but lightly do that. Or a shadow. Don't think about it as a detail. Just think about you're shading this from top to bottom like that. And then take a light color. That's the color of the jacket. Let's go a little lighter. You know what? Let's go really warm with it. Go with like this yellow. And then brush that from the top and add a highlight. And even if you just leave it like that, you've already created some depth and dimension. And then you can go on to do, like, say, her shirt. So you're going to reselect, go to automatic, select that part of her shirt, go up to your shadows and highlights, and this is blue, so let's go to that blue, and then let's bring it over here and go get a little warmth to it for the shadows. And then we're going to, again, just sort of dust the lower, where the shadow part would be. Go a little heavier just for the example. These won't be the finals that I do, but we'll go a little heavier there, and then we can go take our yellow that will be our light and kind of dust over it. And you can just do some simple stuff like that. Look at that. It's the simple gradations that you can do. And we'll do something on her face up here so you can see that too. So go in, choose, lower the selection power on that. So it's just the skin color being chosen. Let's go up and let's choose a deep skin tone, kind of reddish for that. And let's go right around here. Oh, you know what? Jumping back, I forgot. Nope, we're on the right layer. Okay, cool. So do that, and I'm going to go a little darker than I would, just so you can really see it on the camera there. And there we're shading the whole head. We're not just shading the nose or the eyes at all. That's just the overall head as one form. And then go to the color you chose is the light, and kind of push back lightly with that. And it automatically creates a little depth, a little dimension, a little lighting. And then just kind of keep repeating that over all the shapes, and you don't have to worry about doing cuts and grads yet. If you're, like I said, if you're new to this and you just want to be able to add a little bit of something to your pieces, but you don't really get too involved in coloring. And this is sort of how I start all my stuff. I'm not going to do a shadow on her hair. I'm just going to highlight the top and make it more yellow as it gets to the bottom, like Debbie Harry's bleached hair. So then we'll go in and we'll choose the blue part of the metal on here. And jump up to our shadows layer, and I'm going to do sort of deep gray. And we'll push it up like that. It's very subtle there, but here if we jump back, maybe you can see it on the monitor. It's very subtle. It's not really showing up on this array, but I'll go a little deeper just, again, for the example. And then instead of our yellow for light, I'm going to choose this really bright blue for it. And do that. And there, that you can kind of see that. See? Really simple little stuff that you can try to just spice up your work a little. Maybe you're not even a colorist, but you know how to do flats on Procreate. You can totally, use these techniques. I might even leave the sleeves dark, but not for now, not for the example. We're gonna go through and show you how quickly and how simple you can do this to your own work. So we got a light blue. It's already got shadow. So we're just gonna, again, I just call it dusting. Like, you use the edge of the airbrush and just let the edge do the painting for you. And you can tap, 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 tap a little here and there. And yeah, it's already coming coming to life. And we have a little bit more down here on our flat section of a little bit more of her pink tone there. So we use this as our shadow up to our proper layer. Hit that, and then this one we'll do like this too. You know what? I went a little deeper, didn't I? Took it into here. Yeah, did that, and then select a bright yellow and push back against that, and there we go. See, like, it's so simple. Like, people get so intimidated by color, and I just want to show you that like the steps leading up to it aren't that hard. If you can just practice gradations like this just a little bit, and if you're working in Photoshop, it's even easier. But yeah, don't be afraid to do that stuff, and don't be afraid to show me the work either. All right, I think I am going to be wrapping it up now. I'm going to see what we got to say here. See if anybody's got something to shout out. You guys are talking about Stefani Renee, Dr. Moria. His work is fantastic. I can't wait to see that book. I guess he was undercharging for shipping. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, Simonin says it's only at 9. It probably should be around 20. Who knows? Maybe he's worked out something. I don't know. Maybe but hopefully it all works out. His campaign's doing fairly well, so yeah, fingers crossed. Yes, he is a dude. The cyberpunk comic is pretty damn good. And he is talking about the Cyberpunk 2077 Trauma Team by writer Cullen Bunn. It was actually the first ownable work that looked into the cyberpunk world since the game got delayed. Oh, I didn't know they did that. I'm going to ask Spencer if he knows about that. And El Padrino says, I love when people do those subtle gradients instead of more realistic type of coloring. Has an Art Nouveau vibe. Yeah, I actually all of my comic work starts here, and I'm usually happy with it at this point. But let's see, I got Gods and Gears, which I colored here. But colors are coming out weird. But I had to do like gradations and cuts and grads. It didn't quite look the same this simple. But I'm a big fan of this. Spencer Desmond is too. He likes to do stuff like that. Yeah, Kevin Nolan does that a lot. He's my favorite artist. Let me show you something up, Juno. I'm gonna grab something from the other room. So you say Kevin Nolan's your favorite artist? Well, oh man, this thing's covered in dust because of where it was up on the wall. Let me clear it off a little first, just to show my proper respects. But I have a "What Would Kevin Nolan Do" plaque that a friend made with Saint Kevin Nolan himself. There doing the artwork. She did spell his name wrong. I never told her because I would feel bad. She didn't realize she had done it. But she made this for me, and it is signed by Kevin Nolan himself. And this hangs up in the studio because Joe Weems and I, when we were in a studio together, that was our motto. It was, what would Kevin Nolan do? And it was always, Kevin Nolan would never let a piece leave his studio that was not up to standards. So if crappy pencils came in, he fixed the crappy pencils and awesome ink work came out, whether that pissed off the penciler or not. And we sort of adopted that rule, and we did piss off pencilers sometimes, and sometimes we impressed pencilers, but either way, we were snobs. But yeah, Kevin Nolan is an absolute awesome dude, awesome artist. Yeah, this piece hangs in my studio as a constant reminder to be the absolute best that I can be. Just like the American Army. Let's see. What are you guys talking about? Padrino says he needs one. Yes. And Simon says the colors really are working on the Cyber Babe. Thank you. Yeah, it actually wasn't what I originally had planned, but once I dropped that yellow in, I was like, oh, okay. I think these are the colors I want to use. So I'm glad it worked well. Corey King says he can't wait to finally see his Hammerella book. It's going to be great. Yes, I hope so. No, I know so, but I hope you like it as much as I think you're gonna like it. Yes, Saint Kevin, El Padrino. And Corey also says Gwar used to outline their new albums planning around the stage show. You're doing it backwards. Yes. But Corey, I think it's safe to say, like you, I do a lot of things backwards, bro. I do a lot of things like, oh, all right, next go around, I'll do it right. I'm always doing things backwards. That's how I roll. I roll backwards. I roll backwards downhill. Gosh, I hate to bail on it when there's 11 of you watching. Feel free to ask more questions. Why don't I let me throw the tunes back on real quick, and then we'll do a look at a time lapse of what we've done so far on this Cyber Babe. Yeah, I love Geronimo's prompts that he comes up with, and he doesn't tell us these until that night. Like I didn't know it was a cyberpunk thing until tonight. So it seems to like draw the best out of me when I don't know what's coming up. Yes, Simon and Gavi. Hope so. Ryan, that's not reassuring. No, I just meant I hope the things I have planned affect people the way I think they're going to affect them. Like I've got all these new fun elements to the story itself that are kind of like little emotional beats that are coming together nicely. And oh man, I hope they hit with people the way I think they're going to. And I think it will, because what I learned on Gods and Gears issue 2 and issue 4, what I learned about doing right there, and what I did feel like I did a little bit wrong in issue 1 and 3, like were getting the emotional beats right. And I think I got that figured out, like a fun way to make you really care about the characters and surprise you about certain characters. So that's more what I mean. But yeah, you did catch me in a you should be careful how you speak. Hey, we got Eric Housel showing up. What's up, Eric Housel? Good to see you, buddy. Let's see. Ashen Jackal says, if you could get the rights to any established properties, what would you choose to make a comic out of? All right. Feel free in the chat to answer that too if you want. I'm thinking about that too. Any established property, and for me, I'm not necessarily thinking just comics. I'm trying to think of like maybe what's like an old novel or a book or something I've always wanted to do. Because there's been times where I look at old public domain characters, and they're fun, and I have friends that do some fun comics with them and stuff, and it's always the thing where I'm like, oh yeah, let me come up with an idea for that, and I never do. Old established. I would want to do something fun like what was that Tom Selleck movie? I always want to do something with Tom Selleck. Like, I mean, I really want to do. I guess I would say, yeah. Well, you know what? I would jump to Magnum PI because I really want to do a Magnum PI comic, and I don't want to do anything weird with it. I know everyone wants to do something like when they have an old property. It's like, oh, let's make it edgier. Let's make it. Let's add nudity. Let's add hyper violence. Let's add this or that. I wouldn't necessarily handle it exactly like the sitcom. Because then I think you're not playing to the medium of a comic that great. But I think having this bodyguard / detective type character in Hawaii lends itself to such great visuals. Magnum PI himself is such an iconic, great character. The surrounding cast is awesome. So I think that would be my go-to. But some of the movies he was in too, like his Indiana Jones like movie, I forget what it was. He did. Is that Quigley Down Under? Something like that would be fun. I guess I want to do a bunch of Tom Selleck properties. Yes, Hyper Kaiju, Quigley Down Under. Thank you. Oh, hey, Phoenix Animation has shown up saying good morning to everyone. That is Brandon Flynn, creator of Golden over on Indiegogo. We did an interview with him 2 days ago on what we are now calling the Comic Ship, which is going to be a show where I talk about indie comics and sometimes have guests on to showcase their shows. And I think next week we're going to have Nandor of Seasons on. And I'm also trying to get Sim from the Natverse, from Tales of the Natverse. And we are also going to get the Grave Robbers guys on Passion for Drawing. And I think Mark Middleton. Super tired right now. I'm drawing blanks on names, but those are some of the projects I want to be helping out. So yeah, I do have to apologize though, and thank Ash and Jackal again for pointing it out. But Brandon, Phoenix Animation, I'm sorry, my mic, I was using the wrong mic our entire episode. It's not horrible, it's not bad, it works, but yeah, I am sorry about that, buddy. I'm trying to maintain a little more professionalism than that. You know, not too much, but Runaway, Tom Selleck. Gotta be something with Tom Selleck, right? Awesome guest list, Phoenix Animation. Thank you, Phoenix Animation. I think it's going to be fun. Going to have a lot more shows with different types of guests. I'm going to have some big name people come in and help us do some stuff. I'm going to have. I want to really showcase sort of the little guys and stuff like that, and keep that up. Let me know if the volume's still good with the music in the background. If it's not, I can adjust it. El Padrino would love to make a love to make a comic based on Ramiro's zombie movies. Yeah, that would be really fun, especially with the world sort of established. So you can just jump right in there if any characters you have or story idea that you can drop right in there. And there's nothing to stop you from doing that, like a short story that on your own as samples. Sometimes it's fun to take passion projects like that and see them through in a short form so that you're not stressing yourself out about it and without the pressure of this has to see print, this has to go to publication. Because before you get something to print, you should prove to yourself that you can tell the story and stuff like that, and have it connect with other people, things like that. I'm scrolling to make sure I didn't miss anything. Simon 7 says Nexus does get around a lot. So someone said yes, like Richard got Nexus and the Expendables. Yeah, that good for him. And boy, if you're gonna get Nexus and you don't have Steve Rude doing the art, which I don't know if he turned it down. I don't know if he wasn't interested or if he's doing his own thing. But you can't do wrong by having Kelsey Shannon come in and do the art. That's for sure. Hyper Kaiju would choose Lobo if he could take an existing character. Is Sim here? Oh, Simonin. Okay, I didn't know if that was Sim Simon was also here. Yeah, Lobo's cool. Obviously, I like Lobo. You can see there's my version of him from Fragtober as my avatar. I actually pulled out a couple of cool old Lobo books. They're in my to reread pile. Yeah, good question, Mark. Yes, Runaway the movie. Yeah, totally, Eric. I did know that. Sorry, I kind of mentioned that and then stepped away. So that would be something that that you would wanna do that. I mean, yeah, Tom's a great character. Gosh, what was that? That was like 86, maybe? No, it might have been older. I don't know. I'm gonna type it in. I'm gonna look it up. Runaway. The ECK. Yeah, ECK. 1984 was Runaway. What's this description of it is cool. 1984 American Metacolor science fiction action film. But yeah, that's a Michael Crichton. It's got Gene Simmons in it. I don't remember that. I remember Kirstie Alley being in it, but filmed in Panavision. Good choice, Eric Housel. Yeah, let's all make Tom Selleck comics. Take old Tom Selleck properties, make comics of them. Simon7 says Condor Man would be awesome, funny to do, but I may be the only fan left of that. I really love that movie. As a kid, I absolutely loved that movie. It was the closest thing we had to that kind of superhero movie. And I also had only ever seen it when we were on vacation. So it kind of had this element of like being on vacation, awesome superhero movie. I remember probably like 7-8 years ago, I looked it up and was rewatching scenes of it, and I wanted to see the whole movie, but I haven't come across it. Hey, welcome Mandible Smasher. What's up, brother? Mandible, we know. Well, I'm sure people know him from all over the place. I see him all over the place, but I met him on the Skits channel. This is Runaways free if you have Prime. Oh my gosh, I'm totally rewatching that. Simon7 says Runaway is the one where Gene Simmons shoots bullets like they are missiles. And what did I see? I missed some Ashen Jackal here. Ashen Jackal says Death's Head would be his property that he would take. Yeah, Death's Head's awesome. The first Death's Head I saw was I got some Marvel UK books from a comic book store, and it was like, what is this, like chrome predator helmet face thing that looks like a semi truck coming at you too? Like, it was so awesome, and it was such a like, what is it? Because it was scary like something from Conan the Barbarian, but it looked like it was something from the future. Ashen Jackal says he'd tie it into Marvel, the Transformers, and the Seventh Doctor for one crazy adventure. Damn, that would be one crazy adventure. I feel like you've thought about this quite a bit, Ashen Jackal. Blank Man. Yeah, I remember. Was Blank Man with what's his name? Let's look that up. Blank Man. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. It was Damon Wayans. Man, I think I only saw that once. 94. Yeah, that would have been because 94. I was playing basketball. I quit. I was working at a comic book store the first couple of years in high school and a little bit in junior high, and I quit my junior year, junior and senior year to play basketball. What a waste of time. I quit the comic shop for basketball. Oh yeah, I guess that's Death's Head 2. The one that looks like Predator is Death's Head 2. Yeah, maybe the one I saw first was Death's Head 2. It's been so long since I was reading those. I kind of forget that there was even layers to the characters like that. Yeah, it's the Wayans. Yes, correct. Scrolling back to make sure I didn't miss anybody else's choices. If I did, feel free to type it in again. And if you weren't here earlier and you hear the tunes, that's the Institute 91. We are listening to their album, which is called Hiraeth. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation, but there's a link in the description below to the Institute 91 on Bandcamp, and I highly recommend checking it out. Great prices for tons of songs, and it's just great synthwave stuff. They're doing music for Spencer and City of Rot, as well as Wirehead, and I would eventually like to work with them on something. They are going to be doing some tunes that we're using for Return to Camp Rainbow, and that's going to be awesome. Man, that was a fantastic question. We got a lot of fun out of that. And Mark McHugh also asked, going back a little bit here, do you prefer writing or drawing, Ryan? Yeah, it kind of depends on the day. I prefer drawing. I would like to write more. My favorite tasks are inking and coloring, and followed by layouts. I really like doing layouts, and that's my favorite part of writing too. But earlier on the Geronimo Draw stream, we were talking about like, the sort of the writing process and how when you're not sitting at the typewriter, how much writing you get done or how does it get done. And um, before I started writing Gods and Gears, when I would fall asleep, I never dreamed much, but when I would fall asleep as I drifted off, I would picture drawings I was working on or art I had in the back of my brain on what to do, and I could always see like how to do it, and it's almost like I was doing all of it while I was falling asleep. It was like really fun. I kind of liked doing that. And then when I started working on Gods and Gears, I started kind of falling into the character's world as I was falling asleep, almost like a fly on the wall. And I would like sort of think ideas like, oh, I wonder what would happen if how the characters would respond if I do this, or if I said this, or if this happens. And I would sort of like just watch them respond, and I would like just drift off doing that. And that's been a really fun part of the writing process. It's not every night, but it's usually when I'm the weeks that I'm spending, the couple weeks I spend on each script. Like as at night I fall asleep and kind of drift off thinking about their world, and then when I wake up in the morning, whatever kind of stuck with me sort of feels like it's the good stuff, and I'll go and I'll write that stuff down if I have to, whatever the process is that day. So they're both equally fun. I think if I absolutely had to just choose one, I would probably choose drawing because I can tell a story without words, and I sometimes like to do that. So gun to my head, if I had to choose one, it's gonna be drawing. But as I get older, I want to do more writing because I am very slow at drawing. I'm probably only going to be doing 1 or 2 actual books a year for the foreseeable future. That's why, it's not just why I have Dean. I kind of developed Gods and Gears for Dean Cott's to draw. So hold on, I have to sneeze, so I'm going to mute my cam. All right, I am scrolling to see what we got here. I missed a couple things. Welcome to Late Night Inks Live, where we are so late it is early morning. Yeah, it's 5:22 here at my time. I think you're a similar time, Simonon. I'm going to be going here within the next few minutes. Phoenix Animation says something I've never seen in comics manga. It's hockey. Like Mighty Ducks, with manga they have basketball, volleyball, baseball, and soccer, and no love for hockey. Yeah, I don't know that I've seen that. I wouldn't be surprised if there was one somewhere, just because there's been a manga about everything. But hockey would be fun too, because the whole basis of the sport is, action and motion and movement. But so you could really do something cool with that. Maybe you're onto something there, buddy. Yeah, because Simonon says manga has ballroom dancing and diving stories too. LOL. El Padrino says, I don't think hockey is that popular in Asia. No, it's not, but there's a lot of stuff that's, the Japanese just love drawing from the rest of the world, even if it's something that they don't necessarily do there. Sorry, just hit my knee on the table here super hard. So, little honest, loud moment there for you. Sorry about that. Ashton Jackal says Death's Head started in the Transformer comic, was shrunk to human size by Doctor Who, joined the Marvel UK universe, was killed by Death's Head 2, was resurrected by Doctor Who, and came to Marvel. Whew. He has a lot of legacy. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, and that would mean you could even draw from all kinds of stories on that. Hyper Kaiju says sports manga are the worst. LOL. I got the ping pong one. I haven't read it yet. Is it horrible? It's in my pile of mangas that I'm supposed to be reading. Oh, I see. Simonon's a couple hours ahead. It's 7:24 where he is. El Padrino's 9:24. Corey's at 7:24 as well. He's sitting at his desk at work with the window up. Shh, he says. We gotta be quiet about that. Eric McIntyre, what's up, buddy? I don't know if I said hi to you yet or not. If you just got here, are you continuing the story of Hammerella? The plan is that next year there will be another one-shot annual like this, and it will involve Hammerella and some of the other characters from the story. I think it's going to be titled after the other characters for the second story. I think each year we do one of these one-shots, it'll be titled for a different character. So far, I think. But I'm going to be talking to everyone about that and getting feedback from the fans too, because if they, after reading it, if everyone likes her enough or wants her to be more on the forefront, then, maybe the next book is the second Hammerella book. But I think people are going to like the other characters enough and then be excited about going forward with new characters that tie in. Like, it wouldn't ever be out of the blue new characters again. It'll be like we'll meet them in one book and then they'll have a book with an adventure based around them. And then maybe 25 or 30 issues into Gods and Gears, I would like for all of these characters to slowly start coming together with the characters in the Gods and Gears regular story and join up for some big stuff that I have planned. Because it's we're gonna have a lot more new bad guys, and we are gonna be seeing the return of some other bad guys and stuff like that. So yeah, she won't be in the other Gods and Gears books yet. There might be things that tie it together or hint at it. We do have a prologue and an epilogue in Hammerella that's going to have Gods and Gears characters in it to sort of show what I think is a fun and interesting way to link the stories. Simonon says he would like more Ezamar. Oh yeah, there will be more Ezamar. She is not done, and the things she is cooking up, boy, it's going to be a nasty mess. And there are actually going to be seeds planted in Hammerella for the return of Ezamar. So, I can't say look for it because you won't know about it until for a couple of years. You won't know what the seeds were, but I'm starting to be able to do stuff like that since we know we're ongoing and we're going to be connecting all this stuff together. All right, so I'm going to do 3 more minutes. It's 5:27 here. We're going to go till 5:30. Yeah, I'm glad you guys like Ezamar. She is... she's kind of like our Wicked Witch meets Maleficent, but on the cosmic witch level. Here, let's we can take one more look at our cyberpunk girl before we go. And you know what? I said we'd do the time lapse. Let's you can see it a little bigger there. It's 1:25 p.m. in the UK, where Lucifer Storm is. Hey, there we go. Simon 7, that says that is a major tease, Ryan, you dog. Yeah, I wish I mean, I can't tell you more because it'd be major spoilers, but seriously, dude, we have some really cool stuff cooking up in the Gods and Gears world. Getting the permission to go ongoing was just like unleashed. It was an unleashing of the valves. Release the valves on like a dam. It was just like, oh my gosh, this is we're gonna be unstoppable here. So I'm gonna be talking to Dean in the next couple of weeks about some of it, and yeah, I'm really excited. Gods and Gears 2, The Heart of Racing, is gonna be action packed. I mean, the story is not the race. They're gonna have these big races that they have to go on, and we're gonna have tons of fun with that. And but the story that we're going to put the boys through and the stuff that's going on the world that they will be on is going to be so much fun. Eric Housel asked, what is your timing on issue number 5? The plan is to get it started and basically try to get the first 4 issues started and done in the first 4, 5, 6 months of the year and get them out in late 2021. I'm gonna bug Peter about, if we have them all done before we release, if we can release monthly, that would be my ideal. But we are setting up to try to give it to try to make it so that Dean can just focus on this. That was part of the Hammerella plan, was to pool a little bit of money so that we could get him started on issues 5 through 8 while I'm working on while I'm wrapping up Hammerella. And so that's why we had a bigger goal. That's why we had to push for that kind of thing, because we wanted to get started on those and get them done without having to do a campaign for those. I want those to come out through Alterna first, and maybe our next campaign is just for the collected trade and or hardcover of Gods and Gears, instead of something new. So then we can have a lower price point because we're just going for print and things like that. So this first one with Hammerella, it was also about setting up for shipping. Like, we were able to get our printing label, our label printer now. We're able to set up in the garage to be able to ship out and do all that stuff and move into 2021. Not operating like Alterna by any means. Only be fulfilling Hammerella, which is only going to be a few 300 to 400 people. And then shipping out some, probably 1 to 4 issues of Gods and Gears a few times. Hey, Diablo Hashcrab. Diablo Hashcraft has shown up. He's a good friend of ours. Hi, everybody. Wake and bake. I'm going the other way. I am baking and getting into bed. So, all right. One more question here from Hyper Kaiju. Will there be a trade paperback edition of Gods and Gears in the future? Yes, and it is probably something we will do. It probably will be the next crowdfunder sometime next year. There's going to be a collected giant that will come out right before issue 5. So that's going to still be to be determined. But it's up to us on our own, since Alterna is not doing trade paperbacks anymore. So I would get a really good price point for it, and then since we would only be paying for printing, we could have a really low goal that we have to reach, which would be really fun for me, so that we could just focus on some really cool add-ons and specials and original art things, and everything we learned from Hammerella. I'm really looking forward to pushing into Gods and Gears and stuff like that moving forward. I really want to get that trade paperback together. So we'll be talking to Peter about how to do that. We're supposed to fill Hammerella in March. Obviously, I'm on always try to push to get stuff done, but I wouldn't be launching anything new until that's in everybody's hands. Especially this being my first one. Don't want to mess around with stuff like that. So, okay, I'm calling it there, you guys. It has been a wonderful couple of hours. I was going to hop on for an hour. This has been a lot of fun. We got a lot done. We talked about a lot of stuff. You guys had some great questions. And anything I didn't get to or anything I missed, feel free to hit me up at Twitter at Ryan Wynn. If you haven't checked out Hammerella, which I think everybody has, there is a link down below. There's also a link for the Institute 91, and you can check out their music down below. Until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and take it easy.